Well, welcome to Chillin' and Reelin'. And this is my boat. If you're thinking about getting a boat, or purchasing a boat, or wanting a boat, what I happen to have is a Tracker 175 TXW 60 horse Merc. It's 2016. I bought it brand new. So I've had it from day one. It's been a great boat. Been a phenomenal boat. I love this boat. It's not a speed demon. With just me in it, my gear, it'll run about 38 mile an hour GPS. It's not fast at all. With partner and his gear, cuts her down there to about 35 GPS. So it's not a fast boat at all. But it's a very fishable boat. It's very easy to load and unload by yourself. I picked up this dual console. I picked it up at Bass Pro in Springfield at their catalog store. They had it on special. I think it was like $125. So I snagged it. As you can see, this color doesn't match this color, and we'll have to do something with that this winter. I just installed this past spring, and my wife, which is my partner, she really likes this, so I haven't took it off. In a future video, I'm going to show you how to install this on a Tracker and how easy it is to uninstall. It's very simple. There's 4 bolts. It's just a simple way to install it, and it looks good. It's sturdy. If the only thing I have to complain about my boat, if I had to complain about it, is the lack of storage. I have a compartment here, and I have a compartment here for tackle storage and life jacket storage. I have 2 compartments back here in the back. One of them I use for an ice chest. Works perfect for that. Put drinks in it, put you half a bag of ice in it. It'll last for a long time. It keeps your drinks cold. This one over here I use for tools, just odds and end kind of stuff. They're just really small. They're not great big storage. They're just really small storages. But that's probably the thing I have to complain the most about. Other than that, the boat fishes really well. It rides really well. Like I said, it's not a speed demon, but I'm not really looking to go fast. I've never caught a fish at 75 mile an hour. I've never done it. Some of y'all might, but I ain't never done it. So the deck, it's pretty good size. I mean, for a 175 for a 17-foot boat, it's a pretty good size deck. What I'll tell you about it is it gets crowded with 2 people. 1 person, more than enough room. I mean, you can dance up here on this deck with 1 person. 2 people, it's a little bit crowded. Now the 190s and the 195s, I've been on those, and there's plenty of room up here on the deck on those for 2 people easily. Putting the extra console in took a lot of my space away. As you can see, this is all the space I had to get up on the deck now. But the rewards that I have with this is the storage that I have, a little extra storage for sunglasses, lights, sunscreen, phones, phone chargers, whatever else you need, you got it right here. But like I said, if you're thinking about getting a boat, a Tracker's not a bad boat. It's not a bad boat at all. It's very good. I've had it maintenance regularly. I think I've got 130, almost 140 hours on the big motor now. I've had one thing go wrong, and that is the fuel cooler, I think they said. One of the lines going to it had a pinhole in it, and my bulb had a pinhole in it. So that's the only things that I've had in the shop for that, other than just regular maintenance. The seats are really good. Like I said, I mean, I fish out of this thing all the time, and it works really good. I do have where I put my hand on the driver's seat. I do have a tear because it's just constantly putting my hand there. But like I said, it's this 2016 boat, so it's going to have a few nicks and, you know, little nicks and tears and stuff like that in it. The carpet is the original carpet. The decals that you see, I have put the decals on, the carpet decals. You know, the extra strap rod holder, I have put that on there. The VersaTrack system, I haven't used it too much except for filming, and the cameras now that I'm using, I do use it for that. This side console, or this second console, this passenger console, it does utilize the VersaTrack system for this extra console. So one of the bolts go in the VersaTrack. So if you don't have a VersaTrack, I don't know how the console actually works on that, but I'm sure it's pretty similar. If you're looking at an older boat that doesn't have the VersaTrack. You know, you can pick these boats up. They're still, you know, they're up there. I think around where I'm at in Arkansas, you can pick one up for, you know, $15,000 for a really nice boat. But if you're just getting into it and you're just wanting to get your feet wet, you can find boats that are a little bit cheaper than that. But just know, when you go buy a cheaper boat, my experience with buying a cheaper boat and an older boat is you're going to have to work on it, or you're going to have to take it into the shop. That's just my experience that I've had. Like I said, I bought this boat brand new, and man, I have not worried about it at all. It's a 4-stroke. It sips gas. You know, if I fill the tank up on this thing, man, I can go all year and fish with it all year with one tank of gas. It just sips gas. But you know, if you're out running a big lake and you're up and running up and down the lake, you know, of course you'll be. But I mean, as far as fuel economy, it's excellent. I have put lights on the inside, deck lights on the inside. They're blue. I have done that. I have put green lights underneath the rail for night fishing on both sides of the boat, so the boat just got a green glow at night. It looks like a UFO out in the water, but you do get to see the bank, and it doesn't spook the fish so much. And then plus the blue lights you got, it doesn't bother my eyes so much for the blue light to be on the deck, and you can kind of see where you're stepping and not break a rod or step on a hook or something like that in the summertime. So that's basically when I use my lights, is in summertime. We're doing some night fishing. You know, if I'm out there after dark, which I am quite a bit in the summertime, because it's just, here in Arkansas, it just gets so hot and so humid. So you kind of have to fish at night. It's miserable during the day. So, you know, real early in the morning, get off the water by 10 o'clock because you're just dripping with sweat. I do have a seat I put up here. I use it mainly when the water's rough, or there's a lot of boat traffic, the water's really choppy. I will put the seat up there. It's just a small butt seat. I put it up there to just kind of stabilize myself as I go. It's got the original trolling motor on it, which is the Minn Kota 45-pound thrust. It's all right. I think if you got something that's like an 80-pound thrust, I think you'll like it a lot better. I don't have spot lock at all. I just have, and it's worked fine ever since the boat's been new, so I haven't changed it out. It works fine. But I do think if you had a boat this size, if you went to a 24-volt, 80-pound thrust, it'd probably work a lot better. And when this trolling motor gives up the ghost, I'll probably go to a 24 volt 80 pound thrust. And I'm really rough on a trolling motor. I like fishing in shallow water. I don't fish deep very much, because I just don't. That's not my wheelhouse. I don't like it. So I'm really rough on a trolling motor. That's the second prop I've had on this trolling motor, because I use it. I'm digging into rocks, and I have to pick the trolling motor up. This boat does float in really, really shallow water, and I have to pick up the motor and stuff, but it'll still float it. I mean, it'll float through real shallow water, and I have to pick up trolling motor my way through some of the shallow stuff, and then I'll put my trolling motor down, and that's kind of acts as my shallow water anchor. So I'm really, really rough on a trolling motor. And that says a lot for this little 45 pound thrust edge that's on the front of this thing, because it's still going, and like I said, I'm really rough on them. But if you're thinking about it, this is a good boat. If you have the funds and you have the means and you're thinking about a boat, I love my tracker. Ranger has one out that's really good. I've got some friends that's got a Ranger, and they're great boats too. But I like the aluminum boats. They're lighter. You don't have to have such a big towing vehicle for them. They're not as noisy as what they used to be. Aluminum boat was really noisy on the water and stuff. This boat really isn't that much noisier. What I've done on the compartments is, in my compartments here, I put the camper foam. I just took camper foam and I cut them to where they fit in this groove right here, and I put camper foam in there to make these doors shut a little bit quieter, because I do fish such shallow water. So a little bit of stuff like that I've done. I haven't modified this boat in any way or done anything. I have put what they call a whale tail on the motor to get me up on plane, and this thing gets up on plane like right now. So it gets on plane easy. It stays on plane at a real low speed. So I do like the whale tail. Some people say, hey, it takes mile an hour off, but I'm not really concerned about mile an hour. I'm concerned about stability in the corners when you turn the boat. Getting up on plane, cutting through the chop on the water, that kind of stuff. That's what my main concern is, and that's why I put the whale tail. And there's many versions out there for the Mercury 60 horse and the 75 horse. I do kind of wish sometimes when I'm out there on a bigger lake, I do wish I had the 75. The 60's fine, but sometimes I do wish I had that 75, just for the extra mile an hour on the big waters that it would give me. And what I'm saying is big waters is I'm here at Beaver Lake, Table Rock's not too far from me. Bull Shoals is not too far from me. So those lakes, I wished I had a little bit bigger motor when I do go to those lakes. But other than that, on these little lakes that I do up here in Bella Vista, Northwest Arkansas, and even out here on Beaver, I'm good with what I have. 60 horse. You do kind of have to pick your days in aluminum boat. I will tell you that. If it's really, really windy, and these aluminum boats sit lower in the water now than what they used to. They used to have big old sidewalls on them. They don't have that so much. They sit pretty low in the water, but the front end's still kind of up there. If you're looking at a 25 mile an hour wind, you can still fish in it, but you're just gonna have to know that you're gonna be on your trolling motor a lot. So just know that you're gonna be on a trolling motor a lot. If it gets in the 30s or so, it's absolutely miserable fishing out there, and especially in this boat. If the wind's 30 mile an hour winds, and you can't find a cove to get out of the wind, just leave it in the garage, because you're just not you're not going to enjoy yourself that day. You're going to be fighting the boat all the time, and you're not going to be able to keep the boat where you want it unless you have spot lock. Now, if you got spot lock, that's a different deal. I don't have spot lock. I've never had spot lock. So, I mean, if you got spot lock and you're out here in 30-mile-an-hour wind, you can lock it in on wherever you want to, and then you can fish and not worry about it. Hey, that's good. Me, I don't have spot lock, so it's pretty miserable out there at 30-mile-an-hour. 25, you're okay. You're still fighting the trolling motor and the boat, and if you have to get off the trolling motor to tie on bait or a jig or something, you'll be a long ways down the lake if you're not working the trolling motor to keep yourself in that position. So, but anyway, okay guys, thanks for watching. This is Chillin' and Reelin', and this is my boat, and I absolutely love it.